Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to Madiba Official. Please subscribe.
Let's welcome everybody to yet again another exciting edition of the Madiba Official Show. It's time for us to have a look at Ghana's 3-2 victory over South Korea. The Otto Adolescent Black Stars won by 3-2 against South Korea. So right now, as we are seated, we are going to look at the things that Ghana Black Stars did right. That was why they won the game against South Korea, and things that we think they can improve going forward so that they can be able to progress from the group stage and go further in the Qatar 2022 World Cup. So if this is your first time of logging on to this channel, all that we can say that is I really appreciate you joining us. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you for always joining us over here to watch our videos. Without wasting my time, let's delve into the issue on board. Ghana Black Stars played against South Korea, and Otuado started the game with Lawrence Atizigi in goal post. Against the Portuguese, Ghana went in with a 3-back system, but in the game against South Korea, he reverted back into the 4-man defense of that is Tariq Lamptey, Gideon Mensah as the left back. We had that is Mohamed Salisu and Daniel Amate as the defenders. In the middle of the park, it was Salis Abdul Samed. They had that is Andre Morgan, Rami Ayew, and Thomas Tay Partey. Kudus Mohamed alongside Jordan Pierre Ayew and Iñaki Williams spearheading the attack. So that was the lineup that the coach of Ghana started the game. And what we think Ghana did right was in terms of defending in the first half. Ghana were defending with the low block. In the first 20 minutes, they were able to repel every attack of the South Koreans. And at some point in time, it was more like an onslaught. Attack upon attack upon attack from the South Koreans. That led to them having about 7 corners within a little of over, that is 20 minutes. The South Korea had about 7 corners with the Black Stars not having any. But Ghana were able to repel every attack of the South Koreans, thereby unsettling the South Koreans, and Ghana eventually grew into the game. And that was what led into Ghana getting that free kick that was won by Jordan Pierre Ayew. And it was his free kick that resulted in the opener for the Black Stars of Ghana. So in terms of defending, in the first half, Ghana did it perfectly. And for me, I must commend the coach of the Black Stars. And against the Portuguese, the same system also helped Ghana to keep a clean sheet against that is the Portuguese. So it happened and helped Ghana against South Korea also. And another aspect of the game was the defensive transition. When Ghana had the ball in the first half, you could see that the transition was swift. They give the ball to the wingers, and for them able to make sure they found space in the back line of the South Koreans. And Ghana did this at some point in time. It wasn't working, but it eventually paid off, and Ghana won the game by 2-0 on the first half. And also, in terms of the delivery from set pieces, everything was on point. And for me, Jordan Pierre Ayew had worked on how he delivers his ball. At a point in time, Ghanaians were complaining about how he delivers his ball. At times, he will put in balls that will be of low quality. But Ghana's game against South Korea, we also a different Jordan Ayew's delivery. Whenever he's on the ball, you see that something's about to happen. His corner kicks had, for me, an 80% success rate of picking up his colleague. And also, that was why Ghana got the 2 goals from his deliveries. And also, one other aspect is also about the big players. I was talking about Kudus Mohamed in my recent video before this game, that Ghana have to get a grade A performance from the key players. And in Kudus Mohamed, they had that player with that A factor, and he brought the A factor at bay for everybody to see. Again, Portugal, when he was substituted, Ghanaians were complaining bitterly because to them, they thought that he was doing well. And for me, I agree with those that said the coach should have substituted him in the game against Portugal. Yesterday, against South Korea, what we saw is a rejuvenated Kudus Mohamed, a player that had the world on his feet, somebody that was willing to drag the bull by the horn. And anytime he has the ball, it was difficult for the South Koreans to get the ball off his feet, and he crowned everything with 2 goals. So Kudus Mohammed did very well, and for me, we must commend Kudus Mohammed and Abdul Samad Salis. That youngster sitting just in front of the back line of Ghana had brought more like a cool of fresh air, or a sigh of fresh air into the back line of Ghana, because that was something that Ghana were lacking in terms of somebody that will bring that calmness, that coolness in front of the defense. Although we have Idris Baba, but recently he's not playing very well for Mallorca. That's why the likes of Rodrigo Battaglia have benched him before his injury at Mallorca. But with that is Abdul Samad Salis, we have a youngster that's willing to put his legs and everything there for Ghana. And he was splendid in the game, reading up the play of the South Koreans and intercepting play and everything. He did its perfection. Thomas Teipart eventually grew into the game. At the start of the game, his passes were not on point, but eventually he was able to grow into the game. And at times, you could see that more like he's unplayable when he's dragging the ball forward. So we had that performances from these players. Mohamed Salisu also capped his tournament with a goal in his 5th appearance for the Black Stars. Mohamed Salis have made sure that he has scored 2 goals for Ghana Black Stars. So we had those things, and Otuado to his substitution yesterday. He didn't go to hand Ghana because he read the ball perfectly, and he realized that at some point in time he needed players that would defend. And I said it earlier on in my initial video that I did, and I will link the video on this one, so that if you don't watch it, you can go and watch it. And one thing that I realized in the game against Portugal was that Otuado's substitutions were not on point. But Ghana's game against South Korea, he made tactical switches and eventually led Ghana into winning. He realized that Tariq Lamptey was becoming more like a liability because he was tired. So he brought in Dennis Odoi. The left fullback position, he brought in Gideon Mensah. And at some point in time, when Ghana needed to be able to change the tactics of the game that they started, he put off Kudus Mohammed, and in came Alexander Jiku, and he made sure he went back to the 5-man defense, and eventually Ghana won the game by 3 goals to Otuado. To his substitutions were on point. Now to the things that we think Ghana can improve. Since 2006, that Ghana made her debut in the World Cup, Ghana have kept just 2 clean sheets. First against the Czech Republicans in 2006 when Ghana won by 2 goals to 0. And the second clean sheet was against the Serbia national team in 2010. So since Ghana made her debut in the World Cup, Ghana has just kept 2 clean sheets in the Mundial. And to go further in the World Cup, you need your defenders to be able to defend with everything like they do in first half of games in this tournament. Because in this tournament, they are yet to concede a goal in the first half. Of all the 5 goals that they've conceded, all of those goals have come in the second half of games. So for me, Otuado has to work on that because, as I said earlier, Ghana is going to play against Uruguay, and Uruguay is a team on a mission. They know without a victory, they are bound out of this competition. So they want to come out everything. The like of Valverde, Luis Suarez, Darwin Nunez, Edison Cavani, all these players want to come in and get something for the Albicelestes of Uruguay. So Ghana have to make sure that defenders will defend very well. Another aspect too is about the defending from that is crosses and set pieces. The Koreans scored 2 goals from crosses, and if you are to compare the height of the Koreans as against that of the Uruguayans, it means Ghana have to defend very well because Cavani is somebody that likes to feed on crosses. And if the coach Diego Alonso of Uruguay is to have watched the game against South Korea, one thing that you realize is that Ghana doesn't defend very well on the set pieces. So all that he needs to do is that he has to just put in Darwin Nunez and Cavani and make sure they always throw the ball in the 8th yard of the Ghanaians, and they will pounce on it. Because in the game against South Korea, that was Ghana's Achilles heels. So defending from crosses was a problem for Ghana in the game against South Korea, and that's something that Ghana have to work on. Another aspect too is about the counter attacks of the opponent. Against Portugal, Ghana considered 2 goals from the attacking transition of the Portuguese. Yesterday, to whenever the South Koreans have the ball on an attacking transition, Ghana seems to struggle with that aspect. So at some point in time, Woo Min-soo will be freed, and because he's not having the best of shape. He wasn't able to punish Ghana in the game. If you are to meet a team that have the quality like Uruguay have, and the players it will have their day, the story might be different. So Ghana have to be wary of how we defend the counter attacks of the opponent. And then also Iñaki Williams have to up his game. Ghana brought him in this tournament knowing the kind of player that he is. A player that at some point in time played for the Spanish national team. And also in La Liga, he is one of the dangerous marksmen in La Liga. So Ghana having him, we thought we could be able to replace the likes of Asamoah Gyan, Matthew Amwa and co. When with him in up front, although he's doing all the runs, running down the channels, looking for the passes, but when it matters most as a striker, that's where he's lacking. Because we are yet to see him finding the back of the net despite playing about 5 games. And that's about the same number of matches that Salisu Mohammed as a defender have played. But Salisu as a defender has 2 goals. But yes, so Iñaki is just to register a goal for the Black Stars. And even at the heights of stages, he is still struggling to score a goal. Against Portugal, he had a chance in the dying embers of the game, but he flouted his line and he slipped for the Portuguese to recover and eventually won the game by 3 goals too. Yesterday too, against South Korea, same thing happened. He flouted his line, but he was fortunate enough because Kudus Mohammed was there to put the ball at the back of the net. So Iñaki Williams, being our attacker and our low marksman, have to be able to up his game, because where we are going after we are done playing against Uruguay, our best might be finishing second in the group. And where are we going? We are going to meet play against Brazil, and the kind of quality that Brazil have, least mistake and they will punish us. So we have to be able to take our chances as they come by. Now to Otuado. As I said earlier on, he did well with the right things. Now about his substitutions. Kudus Mohammed, he has to work on that boy, because if Ghana is to go further in this competition, most of the work will be relying on the shoulders of Kudus Mohammed, because of how well that he's playing, holding on to the ball, making sure that he will draw fouls and also scoring goals. It tells the kind of player he is. So at times, substituting him in the games, always give the opponent the edge for them to attack, because they know there's no Kudus Mohammed to punish them. So for me, whether Kudus Mohammed is tired or not, he should allow him to play the entirety of the game. But as I said earlier, this is a boy on form, a boy on a mission, and he's delivering for Ghana. In the first game, he assisted Ghana's first goal for Andre Ayew. In our second game against South Korea, he scored 2 goals for Ghana, eventually winning the player of the match, that's the man of the match award. So Otuado has to work on how he manages the players and his substitutions, and Ghana can go further. So yesterday's game, these are some of the things that we thought Ghana did right and what Ghana can do better going forward in the tournament. Let us know your thoughts in the comment box. Thank you for logging onto this channel. Adios, gracias, muchas. Bye-bye.